Follow NairaBet on Twitter @NairaBet and on Facebook @NairaBet Online to take part in our infamous giveaways, and you too can win big. NairaBet, the home of sports betting and fast payments in Nigeria.
Football Live, the wrap-up show with Barry Swain on Brila FM 88.9 and 101.1 FM. Powered by NairaBet.
Welcome to the brand new wrap-up show, brought to you off the back of a busy weekend of football, looking back at the action and the talking points and hearing from the players and the managers at the centre of the big Premier League action over the weekend. Starting at the top, Arsenal made the short trip to Fulham in what was a very tricky fixture on paper, but they had the game effectively won by half-time thanks to a first-half hat-trick of assists by Leandro Trossard. It's the first time a player has contributed 3 assists in the first half of a match in the Premier League in its history. Although Fulham made a fight of it in the second half, it was very comfortable in the end for the Gunners, who opened up that 5-point gap once again at the top over Manchester City. Here is Arsenal's king of assists, Leandro Trossard, delighted with the win at Craven Cottage.
No, indeed, I'm really happy with it as well. And like I said, I always try to contribute in goals or assists and help the team going forward. And today it went my way. And I'm just really happy that we won and that we can go forward from this. It's all about also keeping clean sheets as well, I think. Today we did a great game, but if you keep the 0, you only need to score 1. Today it was 3, but we're really happy with it. And like I said, we take game by game and moving forward.
Manchester United were held at home by bottom of the table Southampton, but the big talking point was the first half red card for Casemiro, an initial yellow card handed out by referee Anthony Taylor, but VAR intervened and upgraded it to a red, and Manchester United had to play 45 minutes plus 10 minutes of the first half with just 10 men. The Brazilian now misses the next 4 matches through suspension. To compound United's frustrations, VAR then ignored an obvious handball before half-time by Armel Bella-Kotchap, the Southampton defender. Now this left Erik ten Hag frustrated, questioning the consistency of the match officials and VAR.
What I think is the inconsistency. The players don't know anymore what is the policy. I think it's all across. When you see this weekend the Premier League, yesterday Leicester-Chelsea, then it's VAR is not coming on the line. Today it's coming on the line. And then it's coming a penalty, 2 penalty situations, but they don't come on the line. I think especially the first one, I think for me was clear and obvious handball. So what is the policy?
Chelsea made it 3 wins out of 3, a good performance in the 3-1 win away at Leicester City, with Ben Chilwell on the score sheet against his former club. 3 goals for the Blues, who are starting to score goals and pick up points, and this is something that pleases Graham Potter.
Yeah, it's been a team performance over the week. It takes a bit of time to develop that, but the spirit of the boys is developing, it's growing. There's a togetherness that I really like. Everyone's supporting each other, fighting to play, ready to play. You know, Mark Cucurella's been out the squad for a few games, and he's come in against Dortmund again today. It was fantastic performances, so it epitomises what we need in the squad. So, again, delighted for the players, because it's been a tough period we've been through, but this week's been a positive one, and now we can look forward to the weekend at against Everton and try to finish off before the international break with 3 points.
On the flip side, it's 5 defeats out of 5 now for Brendan Rodgers, who was disappointed but felt Leicester City did deserve something from the game.
Yeah, I think the performance deserved more. The players gave everything in the game. We obviously responded to going behind. It was I think the 2 goals, certainly in the first half were disappointing from our perspective, especially the timing of them. But we work ourselves back into the game, and once we got the goal, which was an excellent goal, then we looked a good team and moved the ball quickly and really dynamic. And yeah, I thought we were good. And then right on half time, we go behind, where we just sort of switch off, become a little bit passive, and teaming out second half and give everything. And the game was really about a couple of big moments. We won't clear off the line. Obviously they go up the other end, and then they show the quality, and that was the difference.
A late Erling Haaland penalty sealed the 3 points for Manchester City at Selhurst Park on Saturday evening against struggling Crystal Palace, who still have not won a match in 2023. Haaland's 28th Premier League goal of the season was enough to win it for City. City certainly not at their best at the moment, but they managed a win in South London and for a day or so closed the gap on Arsenal to just 2 points. Here is the winning goal scorer.
Yeah, I'm really happy. It's not easy to play here. Every single game in Premier League is tough, and it's fantastic to win. Yeah, I needed that. It was a big chance I had in the first half. Nothing I can do about that. When I miss, I have to go on, and I got my chance in the second half from a penalty spot, and I scored, and I'm really happy.
3 matches without a single shot on target from Crystal Palace. I think it's clear to see where Palace's problems lie. Patrick Vieira is a manager under pressure all of a sudden, and he's only too aware that his side's inability to create chances of late is causing him an enormous headache.
Yeah, shot on target, you can read it the way you want. What is important is to score goals. You know, if you take the ball at half of the pitch and you shot on goal, if you count that as a shot on goal, it doesn't make a sense. What is important is that we have to score goals, we have to create more chances, and overall we have to play in a better way in possession to create those chances.
Follow NairaBet on Twitter @NairaBet and on Facebook @NairaBet Online to take part in our infamous giveaways, and you too can win big. NairaBet, the home of sports betting and fast payments in Nigeria.
After a wobble, Newcastle United have returned to winning ways. Miguel Almiron coming on as a sub to fire a late winner against Wolverhampton Wanderers at St James's Park. Eddie Howe, the Newcastle United manager, was pleased with the victory.
Yeah, it's a big 3 points for us. We knew that we were in a difficult moment. We needed to respond. We needed points. The lads have given everything in recent weeks. I've not been critical of the performances, just the outcomes. And that is a show of faith in everything that we're trying to do. But today the players delivered again, and a really good performance and a really good win.
Liverpool were a shadow of the team that thrashed Manchester United 7-0 just 6 days earlier. Mo Salah missing from the penalty spot in a 1-0 loss at Bournemouth, to the disappointment of Jurgen Klopp.
To face a deep, a compact side, like it's clear you cannot get through with all the balls, but it was like always, okay, we don't get through, didn't work out, stuff like this. So little things which make a massive difference, and then we go 1-0 down. Not helpful, obviously, in a counter-attack. They did always the same stuff, but it was successful enough because we didn't defend it well. And then I thought we started pretty okay in the second half, and then we get the penalty, miss it, and after that we were in a real rush. So we didn't create really enough there, and that's it.
Bournemouth showed great character to take revenge for an early season 9-0 defeat away at Liverpool at Anfield. Philip Billings' first half strike on Saturday proved to be enough to beat Liverpool by 1-0, and the 3 points not only lifted Bournemouth off the bottom of the table, it also propelled them out of the bottom 3. Here is the Bournemouth manager, Gary O'Neill.
Yeah, it's a big result, obviously. So, smiling. I haven't smiled that much after games recently, so... Yeah, that's been coming, to be honest. Manchester City, Arsenal, 2 performances that the boys should have been proud of, and we didn't take anything from. But today, fine margins going out in our favour. And we beat one of the best teams in England. Yeah, it's what it takes. It's what it takes. It always looks like that for us. We always leave everything out there. They left everything out there last week, and I answered a lot of questions in the week around whether I needed to pick the group up or whether there'd be a hangover from the late Arsenal goal. And my answer was... the lads showed my answer in today for 90 minutes.
Richarlison was a star as Spurs beat Nottingham Forest 3-1 at home. The former Everton man spoke out angrily this week about his lack of game time under Antonio Conte. He started on Saturday and was pivotal as Spurs picked up 3 points to enhance their grip on the top 4. He scored an early goal but saw it ruled out by VAR, but he was still the outstanding player for Spurs. Harry Kane scoring twice. Antonio Conte playing down the war of words with the Brazilian striker Richarlison.
I prefer today to start with Richie and to rest Deki. I guess West Ham and Chelsea rested Sonny. But the problem is sometimes I don't understand the people that don't understand the importance of rotation, the importance when you have the possibility to make rotation and to have good players and also on the bench, because with the bench you can change the game. And if you want to aspire to win a trophy, to win in the future, and you have to think that you have to count about 16, 17, 18 good players to make rotation, to change players game by game.
It's another away defeat for Nottingham Forest, slipping back into the thick of that relegation battle. They did manage only their 4th away goal of the season on Saturday, but the loss in North London and the performance in North London certainly did not impress their manager, Steve Cooper.
I didn't like us in the duels. I didn't like us in the 1v1s, even things like tackling. You look at it around the goals, and it just wasn't at the competitive level that it needs to be. And if anything, the disallowed goal should have been the warning sign. So we just weren't aggressive enough in the first half. But yeah, it was just like the frustration really is around the first half, and like second half was definitely more positive. But in the end, we gave ourselves too much to do.
You are listening to Football Live on Brila FM.
Liverpool 7, Manchester United 0. This is just incredible. The wheels have just fallen off the wagon.
4 hours of football every Saturday and Sunday on Brila FM with Football Live.
Oh my word, it's an absolute massive goal for Arsenal's title hopes here.
Wow, just wow.
Leeds United picked up a point against Brighton and Hove Albion at Ellen Road at the weekend. Could be a vital point in their battle for survival. Patrick Bamford was on the score sheet. Here is Patrick Bamford, delighted to finally be back amongst the goals.
Yeah, I think we came into the game, obviously had a solid game plan, and we knew that they would have the majority of the ball and the way they build up and stuff. I think we had enough chances really to get 3 points in the end, but a draw against a team like that, look, they're a very good team, so we can be happy with that.
I bet it's nice to get amongst the goals again, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought as soon as Jack played it, I knew that one of the midfielders was coming behind me, so I just shifted onto my right foot, and then I just thought, why not have a shot? And fortunately, the deflection helped a little bit, but yeah, it's a good goal.
Everton scored early on and held on to beat Brentford 1-0 at Goodison Park. 3 home wins in 4 since taking over for Sean Dyche, and his Everton side climbing back out of the bottom 3. Dwight McNeil scoring the all-important goal in the opening couple of minutes. Here is the Everton manager, Sean Dyche.
Definitely a game of two halves. We were very strong first half, created 2 or 3 golden chances, deserved to be up in the half. We dealt with a lot of their threat well, and then second half they're a good side. They came out at us. We didn't deal with it as well, didn't deal with the ball as well, and gave it away far too many times. But the resilience of the side is growing, the mentality of the side's growing, and sometimes you've got to fight against the side who are unbeaten in 12. So they're no mugs in the Premier League nowadays, and I think we've delivered a performance that can get us the 3 points.
The other result that we haven't mentioned yet is the 1-1 draw in the Battle of Claret and Blue in East London at the London Stadium on Sunday afternoon. West Ham United 1, Aston Villa 1. Another goal in that game for Ollie Watkins. A point for West Ham United. It does mean that they climb back out of the bottom 3, and it's Bournemouth that take their place in the bottom 3 for this week. So let's have a quick look at the league table. Arsenal still 5 points clear of Manchester City in second. It's looking like a 2-horse race. Manchester United's draw at home to Southampton means that they're now 11 points behind Manchester City. Tottenham looking good for a top 4 finish. They're 4 points ahead of Newcastle in 5th, although Newcastle do have 2 games in hand. Liverpool are 6th. They are now 6 points behind Tottenham with 1 game in hand. Chelsea's win at Leicester City doesn't do them an awful lot of good in the league table. They are still 11 points off of top 4 and in 10th place. Down at the bottom, Southampton, despite the draw at Manchester United, stay bottom. Leeds United are a point ahead of them, and then it's Bournemouth filling up the bottom 3. West Ham, Leicester, Everton, Forest, and then Wolves and Crystal Palace. All of those teams very much part of a very tight tussle down at the bottom. Southampton in 20th on 22 points are only 5 points behind Crystal Palace in 12th. That means there are 9 teams vying to avoid the bottom 3 at the moment. It's going to get very interesting down at the bottom of the Premier League, as it will do up at the top in that clamber for a top 4 finish and a place in next season's Champions League. Thank you for joining us on the wrap-up show powered by NairaBet. Football Live, the preview show, will be back later this week on Brila FM. Join me as I look ahead to the big weekend in the Premier League and also in the FA Cup quarter-finals. We are live on Saturday and on Sunday next weekend on Brila FM with Football Live, of course, hunting down the goals, keeping you bang up to date with the action as it unfolds with our reporters watching all the key games. Brila FM is the only place to be for your matchday football fix on Football Live, powered by NairaBet.
Follow NairaBet on Twitter at NairaBet and on Facebook at NairaBet Online to take part in our infamous giveaways, and you too can win big. NairaBet, the home of sports betting and fast payments in Nigeria.